For today's tutorial, we're going to be changing the alternator in this 2013 Honda Civic. And for the most part, 10 millimeter, and I think I can get this out by hand right here. You can see this press right there, and this lifts right out. If it's been sitting in here a while, it might be a little stiff. I already went ahead and removed the battery because we're going to be replacing the battery also. What we'll do is take our 10 millimeter and take this one loose. Then we're going to take this guy loose right here, pressing down on that little tongue right there. But the next thing you're going to want to do, I can see underneath here, 10 millimeter right here, take this out, or maybe that's just clipped in. I think we can push that off of there. Yeah, it's just easier just to take this screw out right here. So I'm still not sure what holds this on the bottom. When I get it off, I'll be able to see that better. Yeah, it looks like it clips in there, but it's just easier to get this out right here. So take this one out. Okay, the next, I'm taking this bracket right here loose. Take you some needle nose pliers like this, and you can squeeze the end of that and just push it right on out of the hole there. You'll want to take this bracket and keep it when you get the alternator out. That bottom one was a little harder to get to with these, but I was able to get to it just to pinch it enough to push it on out. And just pull your lines out of the way, your wires. Just stuck them back over here for the time being. Now we're ready to get this bolt here. Looks like, let's say 12 millimeter. And that one at the bottom down there. Just looking at this right here, you can see that there is one bolt here and then one bolt here, and I was correct. A 12 millimeter socket will get it out. So it's just those two right there. And the thing will pop out, and you put the new one in, and we'll tension it and tighten it down. I'll tell you something, this job is a whole lot easier when you're using one of these. The bottom bolt, I put the extension on. I must remind the audience that this was my first time taking this out, and I was learning as I go, and I need to make a revision here that this bolt is not the one you want to take out, as you'll see later in this video. It's the one further up under this, which is much harder to get to, but I do detail how to get it out. Go to a little bit shorter extension. It was running into my frame or my firewall there, so I didn't have a shorter extension with me, so I just use this setup right here, and it'll get the bolt the rest of the way out. Okay, you can do this either before or now. It doesn't matter which time that, because this is a fixed alternator. So they make a tool for this, but right back in here, if you see that tensioner right there, that's 19 millimeter. They make a tool for this, but I don't have that tool, so I'm going to be using a crow's foot and a longer extension. It's got quite a bit of pressure on it, so you're going to need quite a bit of leverage. But put it on there and press towards the back of the car counterclockwise. That'll release the tension, and you can just pull the belt right on off, just like that. Now I'll press towards the back of the car counterclockwise and pull the belt off. There we go. What? That didn't work because it was hitting the motor mount up top here. So I'm going to try this technique where you lock the wrenches in and use a 19 millimeter ratchet wrench, and this should work. Give me enough leverage to be able to do that. But if you ever need to do this, you put it in that configuration right there, and this will definitely work. Okay, just like that. And then push back like that. There you go, just like that. You're able to get it off. Okay, this has been in here a few years, obviously, so it's going to be a little tight. I may end up spraying some Kroll in here, but I think I can wiggle it out. I'll just put these Smitty gloves on, and if not, I might have to pry a little bit right here and just start wiggling, and it should come right on up. My first time doing this, and there's actually a bolt right down there at the bottom, so I can get it to focus right there. And you need to get just the right extension for it, and this just barely reached it. And that's the setup I was showing you a while ago. That other bolt, I'm fixing to find out what it was I removed. Okay, so I removed the wrong one. That's the problem, not being able to see. That's for the tensioner. So I can't see in here. Yeah, I removed that. Don't remove, I mean, I guess you can, but it doesn't seem to hurt anything to remove it. It just goes right back into place. In fact, it might be easier to remove it so you can get to that other bolt right there. But yeah, that's the further one to the back there. But try to keep your belts right here in line. And matter of fact, this is a good time. I think we might replace that belt. Look at the cracks in it. I think. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Okay, so there's our old alternator, and there's our new one we're going to go back in with. So let's just reverse the process. And don't forget to swap your shroud over. And have yourself a telescoping magnet, too. I done dropped a couple things down in the abyss, and it's helped me. I'll tell you right now, that bottom one's not that easy to get back in there, so you better just have it all lined up, and then get one of these to go in there and push with it and kind of ease it in until it starts, to make sure you don't get it cross-threaded. I don't think it'll cross-thread too easy because it's kind of lined up in that little journal hole, if you will. So now I've got all those tightened down. I'll go ahead and put the belt back on it, and then I'll hook all the wires back up, check everything. And yeah, so maybe because of the location of this bolt way up under here, it probably is easier to get the belt off first. So I may amend this video and put something like me saying this at the very beginning. But yeah, remember, when you go to put that belt back on, have your wrench on this side of the belt, or else you can put it on and you'll have your wrench trapped in there. You'll be taking it back off. Okay, now I'm a lot smarter about this particular unit than I was before. But when you're going back with stuff like this, like these little 10 millimeters, and these over here on the sides and stuff, I wouldn't be running those down with any power tools. So just run it down with a regular smaller 1/4 inch ratchet. So let's go get a new battery for this bad boy and let's go to town.